Take it away.
Take me away. Hello and welcome to the Downsized Live. We're back in the USA. I'm back.
It's not
back
that.
in the, no. How many songs can Laraine make up to various random words? Ready, go. My name's Laraine Durham. This is Christopher Durham. We've been married for 22 years and we've lost over 100 and blippity blip pounds
or 154, I think.
On compounded tirzepatide for me, Zepbound, Mounjaro, compounded tirzepatide for Christopher Durham. I've lost over 50 pounds. Christopher's lost over 100.
104.
Mm-hmm. So if you've been following us, you know that we were in Amsterdam this week. We got back yesterday. And still recovering, still trying to get back on East Coast time. And I don't know that I'm completely recovered. How about you?
Well, it's 1 o'clock in the morning there.
Yeah, see, I can't think of it that way. Like, I can't look across the times. Or I have gotten back on my big water grind, as our children would say. Living that GLP-1 big water life.
Absolutely.
I got a new shipment of Element Electrolytes. So I have a link. We'll put it somewhere. Like and subscribe and you'll see it. But if you want a sample pack with your purchase, I have a link. You can click it and
we're going to do a electrolyte review. So I've got, 10, 12 different kinds of electrolytes, all the way from really cheap to really expensive. We're going to test and test. And
I've tried a lot of the cheap ones from Aldi. Aldi has a couple of newer versions now too. They have like just a little stick pack. They've got a bigger pack. I know, with different flavors that are like coconut water. I said, why are these coconut water
because
flavors?
That's the thing.
My daughter said, Mom, coconut water gives you more hydration. And I was like, okay, they taste good. So I'm all about electrolytes. And I think that I wasn't drinking enough water when we were traveling.
Probably not.
We would buy water bottles and I drank the water, in the country because, it's fine. I just probably wasn't drinking enough because we were out and we're doing stuff and, yeah.
Well, so there's 103 viewers out there right now. Hello, everybody. We have 28 likes. If you'll take a minute and hit that like and subscribe button, why don't you tell, for new viewers who are just showing up and going, who are these people? Tell them a little bit more about what we've been doing over the last year and a half.
We started our GLP-1 journey on September 29th of 2023. I think we're in the 85th week or something of our journey. I had lost a high. I started at 193. I got down to as low as 138. Today I'm at 144. So I'm up. I was up a little bit after our conference last week, and then we went to Amsterdam and we forgot to take our shot. And that's really, I really wasn't feeling any hungrier than normal, but I was eating a lot more than normal. We were walking. I think one day we got 20,000 steps.
Why don't you tell them about the last year and a half, not about Amsterdam? So if they're a new viewer, introduce us to them.
That's what I'm doing.
You were talking about Amsterdam.
Well, it's all related, right? So, yeah. So
give them the big picture, and we've got 2 hours to talk about it.
I did. I started 193. Mm-hmm. I got down to 138. Today I'm 144. And so we took our shot today. So I had gotten through my weight loss process. I was on compounded tirzepatide, and I moved up. I hit 12.5 milligram dosage. I hit my goal weight, and then I started dropping back down because I thought you were supposed to. Now the thinking is maybe you stay where you are, maybe you drop back down. You kind of have to play with it and see what works for you because everybody's really different in the maintenance phase. So I've dropped back down to 5 milligrams. We forgot our shots the day before we were supposed to take them the day we flew out last week, and we forgot. So I had been off. It had been 14 days between shots, and that could be a reason for the little bit of gain, but really it's probably from the flight and the water weight and the extra food. So
it's fine. It'll come off.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Why don't you introduce yourself and tell your things?
Christopher Durham, I'm 56 years
I'm 55.
old. As she said, we've been married 22 years. I started at 286.4 pounds. Over the course of the last 85 weeks, let's see, I think when I weighed this morning, I was at 188. So my goal weight was really to be 100 pounds down. So 100, just like 186.4 is exactly 100. So I had been up and down. I've been basically in maintenance the last 10, 11 weeks. I am on a 15 milligram dose of compounded tirzepatide or Zepbound, depending on what day it is. I've actually got a prescription for both in the refrigerator. I don't plan on going down at all. I know people are all scandalized, but you got to go down. You got to go down. I'm like, you know what? We've been interviewing doctors left and right. I've talked to my doctor. I'm feeling pretty good on 15 right now. I have to adjust the calories some, and figure that out because it's not just the shot that controls all this. I don't have any intention of going down anytime soon. If anything, I'll try going down in the next few months just because it might cost a little bit less. But
that was my kind of
honestly,
feeling.
medically and physically, I'm very happy with where I am right now. I've been up a pound, down a pound, whatever, over the course of the last 10 weeks. So it's kind of what maintenance looks like, right? It's this sort of 2-3 pound up down swing. Your body's not a constant. And I've been doing okay. Took me really right at 70 weeks to get down the 100 pounds. And those last 20 pounds were the hardest ones. I've been on 15 milligrams or really 16.6, which is the Mochi higher dose now for 25 weeks, I think. Long time.
I don't know. You don't keep a spreadsheet.
It's still working. Yeah, I don't keep a spreadsheet, but it's still working. It's still just fine. Now, don't get me wrong. The way this medication feels 80 weeks in versus the way that you feel 2 weeks in is two completely different things, and you have developed that new normal in your head and your gut and all. But I'm still perfectly happy with where it is. Let's show. Not that one. Sorry.
Not that. But stay tuned because we will be giving a scale away later if you're needing a scale. All right, so that's us from our waist up at the first day of 2020, New Year's Eve, 2019 going into 2020. Little did we know what awaited us in 2020, but you can see we were definitely a good bit heavier there. And then in 2020, I think I gained another 15 pounds. So we love to cruise. If you guys have been following us, you know that. So here's our before and after cruise pictures. And I had to get rid of that silver dress because it was just way too big. And I was very sad. I bought that at Aldi. It was like my favorite travel dress because it didn't wrinkle. I could scrunch it up into a ball and put it in the suitcase. But now I don't have it anymore. So Aldi, I need you to make that. They had it at Christmas. Maybe they'll make another version this year.
Probably so.
Anyway, should we talk about the Downsized cruise?
Sure, why not?
We're going on a group cruise and taking some of y'all with us. And there might even still be some spots available. So we created the Downsized at Sea cruise. It's presented by Mochi Health. And we're going to be going in about a month, June 23rd through the 27th on the Celebrity Reflection. You can go to our website at thedownsized.org, click on the cruise tab, and you can get in touch with our travel agent who will tell you what's left. Somebody just booked like yesterday, day before yesterday, we had a couple of viewers book. And so
looks like we'll be right at 50 people, so it should be a good crowd.
Yeah, there are no interior cabins left, I believe, but there are some balcony and higher level cabins available. So come with us. We'd love to see you. We'll be doing fun things. We'll have Mochi swag bags, and we'll have...
Well, no, we won't. We'll have downsized swag bags with some Mochi things in them.
We'll have... All right. Tomato. Is it hot in here? It's really hot in here.
Are you asking them? I'm pretty sure they don't know.
I don't know. And so we'll be doing, we'll be eating together. We'll have some Q&As together. I think we're going to try to do a live.
We are going to do a live stream
well,
direct from the ship.
It depends on the internet.
No, it's worked last time. It'll work this time. It's all good.
Fingers
We're going
crossed.
to do an Downsized Dish interview, I think, with a lovely lady and her husband from Anchor Moments, the YouTube channel. So that should be exciting.
Yeah.
So you guys come and join us. We'll do meet and greets. And I think I made the mistake of telling you guys that I would line dance if 30 people came. So now close to 50 people are coming. So I will be line dancing very, very badly.
Yep. Mel B says, I see Mel B's comment over there. You want to put Mel B's comment up? Okay, so I didn't put on much makeup today. And I thought, I look kind of pale, so I should put on some lipstick. And and of course, Mel B noticed. So, okay, red lip. Okay, Mel B, change your name. Mel B. Mel B. But thanks, Mel. Mel's coming on the cruise with us, and Mel's a member of Club Downsized. You too can be a member of Club Downsized. If you click the join button, you can check that out. You get a little fun thing next to your name so that we know that you're a member. And there's a Facebook page. Sometimes we have special lives like
usually
this
once
just
a week.
for
Yep.
Club Downsized people. Hi, Then from Within 66. She's also a member. Good evening. It's so good to be here tonight. Hello, Jazzy. Jazzy's here. Hello, Downsized fam. Deborah Mitchell says, I'm so excited. This will be my first time seeing y'all live.
Hello, Deborah Mitchell.
Woo. Yep. Esther J. Lee. Hi. Yeah, we're not usually live on Fridays. Usually our lives are on Wednesdays, but we were in Amsterdam, so now we're home. So we thought, we'll get back on here and do a live and see how everyone is doing. Doris Goody. Hello, Doris. Thanks for being a member. Hello. Mark Clem. Good evening. I hope everyone has a good Memorial Day weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend, isn't it, Mark Clem? Mark Clem is coming on the cruise. He's a member. And he's looking super skinny there. Michelle NV says, hello, Downsized. I'm new to the chat. I love you guys. Well, hi, Michelle. We're glad to have you here. We hope you will like and subscribe to our channel. We've got over 17,000 subscribers. We are growing.
Yeah.
We want to take over the GLP-1 world.
I don't want to take over anything.
Take over the GLP-1 world.
Let's see. There's currently 176 of you out there with 63 likes. Thank you very much for liking and subscribing. We will go through comments as best we can as we've gotten larger. I don't intentionally avoid or ignore anybody's comments unless they're just mean or terrible, in which case I will call you out and say, don't do that. Occasionally there's secondary conversations going on, so I try not to skip anything. If I did, I apologize. If you haven't seen it coming, again, it's come back around. Pop it back in. If you have a real question, make sure to put a Q, or a lot of people do QQQ in front of it, so I make sure I see it. Makes it a little bit easier, but you can ask questions. If we don't know the answer, a lot of times somebody in the crowd will know the answer. And you can absolutely tell us about your big wins, whether that be a weight loss, you just started medication, a different size, you name it, whatever it is, and we will give you some virtual confetti. So super fun. Looks like we have a super chat out there from
it's Mel B.
The Mel B.
She's coming to Charlotte. Yeah. Mel, email me, and we're wide open next week.
Yeah.
I was just looking at my schedule for next week. Let's get together. And Mindy's nearby. Anybody else that's in Charlotte, you can send me an email to Laraine. What's my email? Laraine@thedownsized.org.
It's really hard to figure out.
Oh, you have to spell it right. But thanks, Mel B, for your super chat. We'd love to see you. We occasionally get together with our viewers when we're traveling or when they come here. So that's always fun.
And look for as we move into the fall, you'll probably see us because we're traveling some more. So there may be a schedule of a little
if
tour
you
of
subscribe,
sorts.
You will know. Subscribe, and hit the like button. Okay. So, and I also want to give a welcome to, you already showed Michelle. But hi,
hello, Michelle again.
But yeah, and people who are Jess. Hi, Jess. Thanks for being a member. I also want to say hello to everyone who maybe is a brand new to the world of GLP-1 medications like Zepbound, Mounjaro, Ozempic, Wegovy, semaglutide. Or is it semaglutide? No one knows. Tirzepatide. So if you're brand new, if you're starting a weight loss journey, if you're trying to figure out what all this is and does it work and all the things, you've come to the right place. Hit the like and subscribe button. I've lost over 50 pounds on compounded tirzepatide, and it's changed our lives. It has just it's like this massive weight. I didn't really mean it like that. But this weight has been lifted off my shoulders because, before we would go on vacation and I'd gain weight or whatever, and I'd come back and it wouldn't go away. Like I'd come back and just sometimes keep gaining, or maybe I got to another level of weight or whatever. But now I know that I came home, I took my shot, I'm going to drink my water. I also haven't been able to exercise for the past couple of weeks because I got injured, but that's another story. But anyway.
We walked a lot of steps in Amsterdam, though.
We did. If I could exercise the weight away, I would have done that 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I could never exercise my way to a normal weight. So GLP-1s have just been a big relief for us, and I know for so many of you out there. And I still exercise. I'm not running half marathons or triathlons anymore like I used to, but I'm doing yoga and bar burn class and step aerobics and cardio dance. So, and I really like some of those things. Hi, Douglas. Nice to see you. Thanks for being a member. So yeah, if you're new and you have questions, or if you're old and you have questions, put some questions in. We'll try to get there. Hey, Kate. Hiya from Seattle. It's good to see you. Linda Buckmiller. We've got your scale. So, I don't know. It's been a while back now. A couple months ago, we did a review of this scale. They sent one to us, and we already have one. So we decided, hi, Jalen, good to see you. We decided we'd give one away, and we tried to give it away last time, and Linda Bookmiller won it. And then she sent me a note that said, you know what? I have one of these. Why do I want another one? So she said, give it away another time. So we're going to give it away tonight. So make sure you like and subscribe. Oh, Mindy. Hey, Mindy. Nice to see you. Mindy M. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll give away the scale, I don't know, in a few minutes. Maybe when the likes reach a certain number. How many likes do you want to get to, Christopher?
You pick a number.
I don't know. We're at 93. Just hit the like button. Mitsu Gray says, hi, Diana here from Northern California. Welcome home. Hello. Hey, Val F. Val F, I think, is going on the cruise. Shorty. Hey, Shorty. Hello, all. Thanks for being a member. Robert Perez says, I am new as well. Central California. All right. Shout out to Central California. Chasing Sunshine. Hey, Melissa. Nice to see you. Thanks for being a member. Michelle Johnson says, I saw your commercial Wednesday night on the Paramount Network. Oh, my goodness. We still have yet to see it. So Christopher and I filmed a commercial.
We've seen the commercials. We have not actually seen it on TV.
We haven't seen it in the wild. We haven't been like sitting at home watching TV and been like, oh, my God, that's me on TV. We filmed a commercial for Mochi Health. They flew us out to San Francisco, and we had a great time doing that. There's
a whole video if you want all the background and the drama around everything that's going on. There's a whole video on that you can go watch.
Originally they were only going to film 2 spots, like a 60-second spot and a 30-second spot. And then after filming with us for a whole day, they're like, would you guys mind if we made more? We feel like we have so much. You've given us so much material. So they ended up making like 6 total spots. Yeah. Like 2 that were based on me, but we're together. 2 based on me, 2 based on him, and 2 based on us together. And the one that was based on him, we're recording it, and we're in this house in California in a suburb of San Francisco. And he's talking about his parents and, their struggles and his struggles. And He's crying, I'm crying, and everybody on the set is crying. And it's very emotional. And mine's very emotional, but in a different way, because I just grew up, always having a weight loss issue. Christopher didn't really have a weight loss issue until mid-20s, maybe.
Yeah.
And so, but there's definitely a genetic history for both of us of obesity on both sides of the family. So it's just something that we've seen our parents battle, we've seen our relatives battle, we've battled, and so we're just and now we don't have to battle it anymore. Yay! Shonda C says, hello everyone, glad y'all made it back safely. Thank you. We got back last night from Amsterdam. We almost hey Barb, health at any cost.
Barb's going on the cruise too.
Yep. Anna Hoover. Hey Anna. Anna, hello, good evening. Hi Barb. Yeah, she so a lot of our friends have their own YouTube channels, their own blogs and things. I know Chasing Sunshine has one, Health at Any Cost has one, as I come across them.
Yeah, there's a bunch out there.
Yeah, so we hope that you'll check their channels out too. Love your shirt, Laraine. Oh, thanks. Guess where I got it? In Amsterdam. In Amsterdam, there's so many bikes. I don't know if you guys watched our videos. We made a couple of videos there. The cars, they don't really like cars on the street, right?
Well, there's still lots of cars, but there's a lot more bikes than anything else.
And the cars that are there are electric powered or,
streets are small and
combination.
1,000 years old, so there's only so many spaces.
1,000, maybe not 1,000, but 700 perhaps.
A long time.
Yeah. So there's trams and everybody rides their bikes. They ride their bikes to work, to school, to the store, to everything. They put their children in these carts that they put on in the front of the bike. It's like a big basket they put in the front of the bike, and they just throw the kids in there. No seat belts, no car seat, no strap in. Just throw the kids in there and go.
And they're all doing just fine.
They'll be fine. So there's a lot of very active people in Amsterdam. A lot of tall, blonde Dutch people in Amsterdam that are all very good-looking people. Robert Perez. Anybody else feel tired on Zepbound? Oh, Robert. Yes,
so
indeed.
Yes, that's a known side effect, particularly early on. So usually takes a while for your body to get adjusted. So probably the first 3, 4, 5 months, you will feel some fatigue.
Yeah.
And then now even, what do we say, 80 weeks or however many, every once in a while it sneaks up on me still.
Well, I would be dead. Like I'd take the shot and be like, I got to go lay down. I'd take a shower and be like, that just wore me out. I can't function. So we like to take our shots on Friday because, Saturday and Sunday are a little less busy for us. So you can, time your shot to when you can maybe rest a little bit. Make sure you're drinking enough water. How much water is enough water? I don't know. Maybe your goal body weight in ounces of water, maybe between half and all of that in ounces of water. Put some electrolytes in your water. Take a multivitamin. Those things can help. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. You want to get 8 hours of sleep. If you're not getting sleep, it's going to be really hard for your body to release the weight. Okay. So there's just a lot of things, and you can just pick one to work on a week and just, baby step it along. But yeah, I got so tired, and, anymore, I'm just tired anyway, because life. But yeah, I really think electrolytes help. So that's my advice. You have any advice for that?
Take a nap.
Take a nap, and take a nap if you can.
Yeah, it's honestly, the good thing is the longer you take the medication, the more your body adjusts, and some of those side effects will begin to diminish to a point now. Although you still have a little bit of things here and there, there's nothing that's not manageable. It's all fine at this point.
Yeah. I'd gladly feel a little tired to be 50 pounds down. I'd gladly manage some occasional constipation to be 50 pounds down. It's worth it. It's worth it. Losing it with Grace.
Thanks for being a member. Welcome back. Did you guys stop by IKEA?
We did not. I think their HQ's in Delft, maybe. We stayed in.
I thought
Basically,
IKEA was out of Sweden.
I think their headquarters is in Delft, the Netherlands.
Oh yeah.
We stayed in basically the center of the city. This what they call Centrum, the very historic part of it, right by the flower market, and we're there in the museum district all the way across the whole time.
I didn't see an IKEA. Did you see one?
We drove past one coming from the
airport. Yeah. But no, yeah, mostly we're just in.
An IKEA would take up
town.
like 27 blocks.
Yeah.
Some cities have small, like little catalog ones you can order things from. Here's a question for you.
Jason Sunshine says, Laraine, have you tried the new lemonade one? I'm trying to get hubby to put a new order so I can try it. The Element, no, when I got this box, it was here waiting for me when we came home. They had an ad for it. I probably like it though. I like the saltiness, right? When I first started putting electrolytes in my water, I'm like, maybe half a pack, maybe just a dash. But now I'm like, dump that whole pack in there. I'm totally down. So yeah, I'd probably like the lemonade one.
We'll do a taste test on electrolytes and we'll see how that goes. I'm not hopeful.
He doesn't
Salty
like
Kool-Aid
anything.
is not my idea of a good time.
Protein powder, protein added stuff. I like all of it. Like, sure. I've been eating Atkins, candy bars for years. I've been eating like protein bars and granola bars since time began, I feel like. So I'm just very used to them. Heal Thy Spirit podcast. Good evening, Tia from Denver here. Hello, Tia from Denver. It's nice to see you. Chasing Sunshine. I was going to ask that too. Mindy has tried all the things. So yeah, I think Mindy likes electrolytes too. Kate says, how was travel different now that your weight is so much lower? Any unexpected or pleasant surprises?
We'll see. I think the last time we flew, this time it wasn't different, but we've been down. So we travel a good bit. But the last time we flew, I did a video of a couple of different things. So I did a video of the seatbelt pulling out.
Lots more room.
I never actually needed an extender, but I was right there on the edge, and I was always holding my breath, worried I was going to need one.
Yeah.
And then we were on a cruise ship, and I'm sure a lot of you have had this issue too. Even when they give you robes in places, they would just always be too small for me. I couldn't wear them.
Yeah.
So there's a short. Both those are shorts. If you go watch in the short section, scroll back a ways of me going this robe that has like this much extra on it. And I'm like, holy cow! It's pretty fabulous.
One thing I noticed is, when you go on these flights to Europe, they give you food, right? Most of the time on domestic flights anymore, you get like a bag of pretzels and maybe a Diet Coke if you're lucky. But when we went over, we had an overnight flight from Philadelphia to Amsterdam, and they come around with dinner, and they come.
And we were in coach, so it wasn't.
Yeah, we were in just the regular folk, because those business fares have gotten ridiculously expensive. Like, forget it, we're not paying that. So, but they come around with food, and I think the choices were either chicken or pasta.
Yeah.
And I think we got the chicken, and it wasn't anything to write home about. It was some chunks of chicken and like a white kind of sauce with some rice. They gave you a roll with butter and some crackers with a Laughing Cow cheese and a little brownie dessert, and maybe a little attempt at a salad with the oil and vinegar dressing you can put on it. And, before you put something down in front of me, I got nothing else to do, I'm going to probably eat everything on the tray. But this one, I was just like, it's just not.
Salad wasn't bad.
It's just not good. It just wasn't anything I wanted to keep eating. So I just didn't. And also the cart that comes around on these
international
Europe flights. Yeah. You can get, they have wine on the cart along with the Diet Coke and the Sprite, right? So if you want, a glass of Chardonnay, they'll keep pouring you Chardonnays all flight long. And last time we went, I was like, hey, Chardonnay, and maybe it'll help me sleep. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm just not going to feel good. I'm not going to feel good. I'm already kind of dehydrating on the plane, and that's going to dehydrate me more. And yeah, it's free,
I could have one if I wanted to, but I just really didn't want to. So that was a little different. On the flight home, they came around with we had weird food on the way home. Did we have a breakfast? No. What was the first thing that we had? They had some kind of food on a tray.
Yeah, it was a lunch of some sort. It was
chicken, some kind of rice thing again.
And a grain.
And then they came around with like it wasn't a Hot Pocket. It was like a
folded quesadilla.
Folded pizza in a box. And they just handed out these boxes. It was weird. And it wasn't really that good, but that one I did eat anyway because it was just there. And I was kind of hungry at that point. And on the way back, did you get the chocolate ice cream? Yeah. Like in the middle of the night, like in the time on the plane when it's supposed to be night, they came around with like these little ice cream cups. You know, the wooden spoon, like when you're a kid and you're eating the wooden spoon of ice cream. I did eat that. I did eat all of that. It wasn't even that good ice cream, though.
No, that used to be Haagen-Dazs. I don't know what that was.
That wasn't.
Yeah. Well,
so some things I passed on, some things I did not.
I have flown internationally a good bit over the last 20 years. And as I had gotten, right there at 300 pounds, I'm sure I was at some points, I just had a lot of issues with water retention and my feet swelling. And I mean, I'd have to be really careful about which shoes I wore because I couldn't.
If you took your shoes off,
or they would start cutting my circulation off. It was just bad. So I wore compression socks for years. So I went to wear them this time.
You didn't compress.
In the compression socks, I had stretched out. My legs were so much bigger the last time that I wore them that I had to buy new compression socks.
Yeah. We all got
which they still help. I'm a big believer in compression socks. But before, and I don't even know that I realized it, but the compression socks were so tight they kind of hurt the whole time.
Yeah.
This time they weren't. They were just firm. It was okay. So it was a little bit better. And that's a very long answer to lots of stuff. And honestly, just considering, because we basically did one thing a day, sometimes two things a day. So we'd go on a canal cruise, we'd go to a museum or whatever. And there were many things at 100 pounds up that I would think twice before doing. So there was going to be too many steps. I almost died once in Paris going up steps. It would just be too far to walk. It just wouldn't be easy for someone who is overweight, and they don't cater to that over there. So it would have been a challenge. Now I can do whatever I want to do. And it doesn't. Now this one likes to race off like she's going to escaping a fire.
I do not walk slow. I'm not a slow walker. I am a destination. Now I'm not really a fast walker, but I am not a leisurely stroll down the block.
Which means she misses most of the things between here and there. She only sees what's there, and here.
I see all the stuff between. If there's something I want to stop for, I will stop. But I'm getting to my destination. Last night we were coming through the airport on our way home, and we landed in Philadelphia about 40 minutes late, 30 or 40 minutes late, and we're like, we're not going to make our connection. And we had made the connection. We had booked it. It was about an hour and a half apart. And I think maybe the time change, or I don't know.
No, the time got changed on the flight.
The flight's times changed, and we're like, there's no way. And we had 8 bags. So we had our girls with us. And plus we did a award ceremony. That's why we went to Amsterdam. So we had a lot of stuff that we took for that. And I'm like, the bags are never going to make it. Like, we're not getting on this next flight. And so then we basically made it, but we had
hello to Piggy, please.
Hey, Piggy, thanks for your super chat. Happy Memorial Day. Welcome home. Yes, compression socks are a must. I had pulmonary embolism.
Oh, dude, are you okay?
Yeah, you're supposed to get up and walk around like every, so often. I tried to do that. But yeah, we landed, and when you come in, you have to get your luggage, and then you have to go through customs, and then you have to give your luggage back to them, and then you have to go through security again to get on your next flight in Philadelphia. So I had my water bottle. I had a smaller water bottle, which I thought was empty.
It was not, but the security did inform her that it wasn't.
It was not empty. It had a little bit of water and we were rushing. So I was like, and there wasn't, sometimes there's a trash can or something you can pour out your water bottle. And we have TSA pre-check. So we just zoomed in the pre-check line, and they're like, whose bag is this? And I'm like, that's my bag. They're like, there's water in this bottle. I'm like, no. I'm like, I shook it. I thought it was empty. They're like, nope. So the guy's like, all right, come over here. He goes, I want you to unscrew the lid and take it off. I'm like, yes, sir. So I took it, looked in there. I'm like, is there any water in there? He's like, yeah, there's water in there. I'm going to say it's under 3 ounces. So I'm going to let you take it back and go. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you very much. I guess it could like take it from you, the whole thing from you, if they thought it was a problem.
Anyway, thank you, Piggy. Yeah, I've had several friends have pulmonary embolisms, and so I'm a big believer. But we appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Let's see here. Where were we?
But we did get on the next flight because it was delayed. The plane coming in was delayed, so they were delayed in boarding the second flight. And then all of our bags made it to Charlotte, except for one, and it didn't have really anything in it. So we'll get it back someday, eventually. Determine your destiny. Talk with Tia. Tia. Hello from Houston. Started 7.5 Sunday. The first 3 days, not good. Yeah, sometimes when you move up, it takes your body a few days to get used to it, right? But you know what? Just try to do the best you can and keep going. Anna Hoover. Good evening, Chris and Laraine. Hello, Anna Hoover. Welcome back to the U.S., Erica. Thank you. Jaylen says, my favorite is Keto BHB from Amazon. Really yummy. Patriot Pop.
I think it might be an electrolyte drink.
Probably. We've been talking a lot about electrolytes. Hi, Durhams. Looks like a great chip. Thanks, LM.
Hello, Megan Reeves. Thanks for being a member. TJB as well. Hello, all.
Hello. So Sean C says, I think people should just stay on the dose they feel best with and just make adjustments when needed. Yeah, and work with your doctor. You know what? You don't necessarily need to move up every month. If a dose is working for you, stay on the dose. I'm a firm believer in that. Sometimes insurance wants to push you forward. Sometimes doctors want to push you around, but try to work with your provider and see if you can maximize each dose, especially if you have 100 pounds or more to lose, because you want to get everything you can out of each dose before you hit the top.
I have a super chat here from Kieran. Hello, Kieran.
Hey, Kieran. Thanks for your super chat.
Kieran has a channel of his own. I've watched a couple of his videos. Kieran, you need to reach out, and we need to do a downsized dish with you. Happy to learn more about you and promote your channel. If you want to do that, how can Kieran do that?
Send me an email to Laraine@thedownsized.org. We talk to people every week who are on a GLP-1 journey. And it's really interesting to hear how different people, manage side effects differently or work out differently or, all the things. So no two people are going to do this journey exactly the same. And what works for me may not work for Christopher, or what works for Christopher might work for you. So it's always good to listen to different people's stories, I think, so you can figure out what's going on, because there's really just not a lot of information out there. And really this whole GLP-1 stuff is really just getting started. Like, we're really like in on the ground floor of this. So by the time all of America is on this in 5 years or whatever, we will all be experts in this space, because we will have lost and been maintaining our weight for that long. Esther J. Lee says, I've started strength training and my weight is starting to rise, even though the scale is saying my muscle mass is steady. On my 6th shot of 5 milligrams, total 15 pounds lost so far. All right. Well, I wouldn't panic.
Well, you know what, Esther? First of all, you get confetti for that because you're doing a great job. This is a marathon.
Yeah, you're just starting. You've just started 6 shots in. You're doing great. You've lost 15 pounds so far. So you're a little over 2 pounds a week of loss. So you're on 5 milligrams. I would keep up the strength training because that is really just so good for you. And, your body's going to adjust, right? So strength training is good for us because it tells your body to keep the muscle that we have and release the fat that we don't want. So it's really good for that. And as women, it's important for bone health and balance and all the things as we age, although I don't think you're anywhere near my age, but I would keep at it. I think you're doing great. I don't know what that says, but the dog is cute. It is. Thanks. I'm down 25 pounds. Somebody must have asked. Congratulations. So the average weight loss, I like to say 1 to 2 pounds a week. It's really like a half a pound.
According to both Eli
to
Lilly
2 pounds a week. But I'm not going to pay all this money for a half a pound a week. You better know. And really, most people are between that I've talked to. No, I'm not, I'm no drug company with randomized trials, but it's going to be between 1 and 2 pounds a week. Some weeks are going to be, you might not lose anything. Some weeks you might lose 3 or 4 pounds, but over time, it's going to average out to that. In my weight loss portion, I averaged 1.58 pounds per week. So there you go. But I have seen people lose even more than that on average. Depends on how much you have to lose, all the things.
Yeah. Let's see here. The comments are going a little crazy, so if I miss anybody, I apologize.
Treese Rowe. I've been on Zepbound for 13 weeks and I've lost 21 pounds. Woo woo. I too have battled this disease for 40 years, lost and gained so many times over the years, but God willing, this will be the last time. Yes, girl. Yes, this is going to be the last time because it's working for you. You've lost 21 pounds. So it's working. There's a small percentage of people for whom these medications do not work. So just, but most everyone, I've never really talked to anybody who it just flat out did not work. Flat out. There are.
No, I've talked to a couple of people.
Just flat out.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yep.
Don Johnson says, welcome back. Laraine, love the bicycle Amsterdam. Thanks. Did you notice the food was cleaner or that heavier foods didn't seem so heavy since Europe doesn't use GMOs?
So let's talk about that for a minute. Because, I've been cooking a long time and I've eaten at restaurants from Michelin 3-star restaurants to street stalls in countries all over the world. You're right. Europe in general doesn't use GMOs. The challenge of the whole GMO conversation is that there's really no scientific evidence, good or bad, there. We just simply don't know. So it seems like a good thing to avoid them. In general, in Europe, they use a better set of ingredients than we do in the United States in processed foods, but they still have processed foods. We walk through Albert Heijn, which is a grocery store owned by Ahold Delhaize there. They still have as many processed foods. The Dutch love sprinkles on toast with butter. Weird. So, there's plenty of opportunities in the Netherlands and in Europe.
Candy stores.
There's candy stores everywhere.
Many candy stores.
There's plenty of opportunities. Now, there's also, I did a couple of shorts on fresh seafood, on fresh produce. There's plenty of opportunities for that. So the common American thought is, it's all much cleaner and you can eat, you can, but generally you're not eating as much processed food when you're traveling like that. So,
just walking around, there was a lot of junk food. If you wanted junk food, there was a lot of
the Dutch love fried things. So
there Stroop waffles are a thing there. So basically, like a waffle cone, think of a waffle cone, but they make it round and they cut it in half and put this caramel in the middle. And then sometimes they dip half in chocolate or put chocolate on half and sprinkle nuts on it, or you can have them with M&Ms or all kinds of things. And those were a big Amsterdam thing. So those are everywhere. I had several Stroop waffles over the course of the week.
Like I said, the Dutch love fried food. So they'll do this very classic Dutch dish, and there's probably people from the Netherlands here, called a bitterbal, and it's like essentially what we would call fried gravy with pork in it. Yeah. It's delicious. It's fatty. You put a little mustard on it, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, we did. Oh, you done?
I guess so.
We went into the Heineken experience. Heineken was originated in Amsterdam, and so they have a whole big, used to be their factory where it was founded. Now they don't actually make anything there, but you can tour it and have a whole experience. It was a lot of fun. And you got to, they gave you 2 beer tokens. So at the end of the tour, you could try the beer. And it was like, what did they say? It was 3-day-old beer.
Yeah,
like,
something like that.
It's made it's like the freshest beer you'll ever have. And it was really good. And I'm not a big beer drinker or, Heineken. Like Heineken always had like a heavy taste or funny taste to me.
Think,
but that was some good beer.
Anyway, so we ate plenty of good food, but the reality of plenty of good food when you go to Europe is you're probably eating at a better restaurant than you would normally anyway. You can eat basically the same thing here if you make the choice. Just avoid the Twinkies and the Ho-Hos and
Stroop waffles.
And the Stroop waffles. It's all good.
I like to try things when I'm somewhere and they have a special thing. Well, I'm going to try it because, I may not go there again, and it's fine. Bradley says, hi, Laraine and Christopher. Week 6 on 2.5 Zepbound, down 9 pounds and strength training 3 days a week. Woo, woo, feeling good and optimistic about the future. That's a really cute kitty, Bradley. Congratulations. That's really good. So you've been on 2.5 for 6 weeks and doing great. So keep up the good work. Linda Bookmiller, it's a wonderful feeling that this is the last diet I will ever be on. And Linda Bookmeyer, we don't say diet, remember? This isn't a diet. This is now our life. And I don't even like to say really lifestyle, because it kind of is, but I don't really feel like I diet. Do you feel like you're
No, it's
dieting?
not a diet. Mm-mm.
This is just like, I don't know. Jay Quellon says 10 months in, currently on 10 milligram, and I finally made it to 50 pounds lost. Woohoo! Good job.
Like confetti's not confettiing.
Confetti is not confettiing.
Oh, there it goes.
I see it.
There it goes.
All right, good job. Yeah, so we got home, and this morning we got up and I'm like, well, what's in the house for breakfast? And he's like, well, I'm going to make some eggs. I'm like, I don't want eggs. And then what he was making looked pretty good. So I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll have a couple eggs. And then for lunch, I had some yogurt in the refrigerator, and I threw some high protein granola in it, and had a little bit of fruit that was still good in the fridge. So that was lunch. Rita D says, woohoo, just took my second starter dose of Zepbound. No major side effects. Learning what veggies agree with me and don't. I won't wait until I get my physical June 7th. I do feel less inflammation. Well, that's good. So yeah, those first couple weeks, you just kind of start really, you're releasing a lot of water weight, your inflammation goes down, and you can just tell that things are changing. Michael Dietz, he's in bad traffic in Denver at a standstill. Just want to say hi. Happy Memorial Day. Michael Dietz, your wife emailed me today, and I emailed her back and gave her my recommendations. So I hope those helped. People message me all the time. People email me all the time. I try to respond. But it's hard. But but if you have a specific question, a lot of times you can look through our videos. We might have done a whole video on the question. So a lot of times, recently what people want to know is, how do I get this medication, and how do I not pay $1,000 a month for?
That's a bigger challenge these days.
And it's hard. And so we've kind of just, veered away from that whole discussion, but I'm glad to answer questions privately.
Losing it with grays. I know LD tracked on Weight Watchers, but CD, did you ever track your calories? She has several questions. Let's take these one at a time. So you tracked on Weight Watchers, sort of.
Oh, for years.
But did you during this process?
Not really. Here and there. I was hardcore tracking at first. Like when I restarted Weight Watchers, which was in July of 2023, before I started this, like I lost 10 pounds in like 2 months, because I was like I was doing all the things, right? Tracking, water, exercise, going to the meetings, deep, because I knew if I could do all those things, I could lose some weight. I could never get all the way down to my goal weight, but I knew, like, because I had gotten, like, you get to that one weight and you're like, oh, I feel terrible. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I'm going to do something right now, whatever it takes right now today. So when I would get in that mode, I would be a super hardcore tracker. Okay, now you can continue with the rest of the questions.
So I don't have a spreadsheet, never have, never will. I cook every day. I can tell you what I've eaten on any given day. Now, I may not be able to tell you what I ate 3 days ago and how much that was, but I always am aware of the calorie intake.
What about low carb, she says?
Well, that's the next part of the question.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move. So also, did you guys ever eat low carb those beginning months?
Yeah.
So what has happened is we have never made any intention to deny ourselves of anything. We haven't banned
we did
any.
Eat lower carb in the beginning.
Well, let me finish. We haven't banned any food. We did, however, shift our eating patterns to be something that was more sustainable for us. So protein at the center with fruits and vegetables appropriately, and lower amounts of carbs. But we still do eat carbs. So we eat pasta once in a while. We eat bread once in a while. We always focus on doing better products because that truly processed white bread's going to get you. The truly 79-cent box of pasta is going to get you. I don't eat any protein added products either, I'll tell you. So I don't eat. We actually have a whole bag of protein pastas down there. We're going to taste test for you. But I don't buy protein added pastas. That's like extruded gum. I'm not doing that. But we do buy a better Italian pasta that has protein in it that comes from a better wheat, the whole 9 yards. So we've definitely lowered the amount of processed carbs that we eat.
I think a lot of times people get tired or they suffer from fatigue because you're not eating enough carbs or any carbs. And I think I've certainly been on diets where, the Atkins and the keto, where you really don't eat more than like 20 grams of carbs a day. And that's really I can't really function on that, right? Like, especially if you're exercising, if you're getting a lot of movement in through your day. I have gone very low carb, and I know I can drop weight in the past if I, cut out the sugar and the carbs, cut it really, really down. But I don't want to live my life like that. I don't want to stay like that forever because I like bread. I like, donuts. So I'm never going to cut those out of my life entirely. The nice thing about these GLP-1 medications is that I don't have cravings. I don't feel like I need to seek out these high carb, high sugar foods. And even when I do eat them, it's different in my brain. So before I would eat a donut and I'd be like, oh, that's good. Let me eat another donut. And I'd eat another donut. Oh, that's good. Let me eat the whole box of donuts. And I, would work my way through the box. And now when I do maybe have a donut, I'd be like, oh, that's a good donut. And then about midway through the donut, I'd be like, this is starting to make me feel not so good. I don't really want to eat the rest of this. It tastes good, but maybe I can leave a little bit behind. So it helps control my brain's crazy urges to like eat all the things all the time. I don't want to eat all the things all the time. I still want to eat things here and there, but I can stop. I'm not compelled to keep going. Anyway,
so the last part of that is LD works out, but CD, did you ever add exercise? Nope, did not. My muscle mass is looking great. I'm feeling good. Watch all the doctors. They all say you should exercise, so you do what's right for you.
Yeah.
We have a super chat here from Jennifer Donahue.
Hi, Jennifer Donahue. Hello. Thanks for your super chat. Welcome back, guys. I reached my goal. Woohoo! Yay! Starting weight 187, goal weight 129. Woohoo! 5'1". I go down another 3 pounds, so I have wiggle room. I can certainly understand that. I did the same thing. Thanks for doing all that you do. Well, you're welcome. Congratulations on your goal. Let's see. 187 minus 129 is 57. No, 60 pounds. Something like that. Congratulations. That's great. Thank you for your super chat. Kieran Gets Fit. Hope it's going well for you so far.
Ipsy. She was talking about weight loss. They're having They're having a conversation about her weight loss.
So I haven't worked out in 2 weeks because 2 weeks ago, it would be on Sunday, I was doing an aerobics class and my calf muscles just seized up. And so I kind of hobbled out of the class, and I've been slowly trying to recover from that. So I think I'm back to normal. So probably I was thinking, I'll start back in the gym on Monday, and my gym's closed for Memorial Day. Whoops. So maybe I'll go tomorrow. Kombucha contains some alcohol. Does that mean it has the same effects as regular alcoholic drinks? I've heard people say it makes them not quite buzzed, but something.
Let's go there. So we have if you've watched, we've talked about kombucha, and I know a gentleman really, really well who's the CEO of the largest kombucha company in the U.S. Spoke at our conference. Kombucha is considered a functional beverage, so it has those sort of prebiotic, probiotic, and I won't get it right. Somebody out there can correct me on all of that functions, and it's been around for thousands of years. It's a fermented beverage. It can run, and I just looked it up, between 0.5 alcohol by volume and 8% alcohol by volume. If it gets above 3.5% alcohol by volume, it has to be sold as alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Anything less than that, and I think if you bought it at Whole Foods or Kroger or wherever, it's going to be on that 0.5 level. You should not feel any difference whatsoever. It's just the fermentation is doing that. So no, it shouldn't.
I guess look at the label, because some of it may not have anything, and some of it might be labeled.
But yeah, it has a lot of digestive things. There's a bunch of those really old school beverages, kefirs and things out there that are natural things.
Kombucha is something that I want to like, but I don't really like. I know. Maybe I'll try it again sometime. Alex Limpkin says, am I the odd one out having loads of energy and amazing mental health on Mounjaro? Perhaps. I mean, tons and tons of energy. I feel like I can do anything, whereas before I struggled. Yeah, no, I think
well,
a lot
Alex,
of people,
how much weight have you lost?
Yeah,
because I can tell you now, 100 pounds down, I have a lot more energy just from not carrying that extra 100 pounds around. I think early on there was certainly some fatigue. Now I mean, every once in a while it'll hit me, but I don't really.
Yeah, no, I think just getting the inflammation out of your body, dropping the weight, people do seem to have more energy than before. I think at the beginning you're kind of tired because your body's getting used to it. Maybe that's one of the side effects. You know, your body's like, because this medicine it's hardcore, right? You can't start right on 15. They start you on 2.5 for a reason, because this medicine will kick your ass if you move up too quickly. So it's an adjustment process at first, but now I've been on this medication for 80 something weeks, and I don't really have any. I still manage my constipation, but I think I was constipated all the time anyway before this. Losing It with Gray says, at the Mel B, did you say last night there's a study that showed greater weight loss results in the stomach injection site by 2%?
So not sure what Mel B shared. So Mel B, if you've got something good, send it to. The only study that I have seen is one that Eli Lilly did a couple of years ago. It involved 44 participants.
Yeah.
And the stomach sites did have a small difference, but it was like a basis point. It was like 0.02% difference. And on 44%, and on 44 people, the sample size is so low that even Eli Lilly doesn't really promote it. If you search for that, it's out there. Search for Eli Lilly research and tirzepatide injection sites, and you can go read the study. It's out there. But maybe Mel knows something. I don't know.
People I've talked to do. And it's because everybody's so different on this, you try it. So the injection sites that are recommended are around your belly button and the back of your arm and the top of your thigh. Top of the thigh is, what do the girls say?
I don't know, darling.
When it's something really crazy, diabolical. It's diabolical.
She just didn't like it. It's fine.
Yeah, Christopher did arm a couple times, didn't like it. I did thigh once or twice. I didn't like it. I just go around my stomach. Some people say, I've heard them say, if you get to a place where you feel like you're stalled, you're not losing weight, change your injection site. It might ramp things up. Some people claim different side effects at different injection sites. I don't know. But, I would say, my spreadsheet that I have, you can track your injection site. So you can maybe see if there's some correlation between your weight loss, your symptoms, and your injection site. Figure out how your body works with it and what's best for you.
I've tried all the sites and didn't find any difference in weight loss. I really didn't like the arm because I thought it hurt, but I may have just been.
You need to make sure you're injecting into fat. I have not a lot, but I have some loose skin around my stomach. And I've found when I just inject into loose skin versus fat, it hurts more. If I inject into fat, it like pinch it and inject. Like today, that's what I did. Hardly felt it. Mimi in Australia, happy Saturday morning from Australia. Hope everyone is having a great day. That's a cute picture. Mimi, I'm going to go. I'm still jet lagged. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not y'all.
Lady Alex says my ankles became very swollen on my last international flight. Forgot my compression knee high. Yeah, that'll do it.
I still think I'm still a little swollen today. Oh, is that a stomach picture?
I think so.
Barry babe, want to be sure I'm entered at a chance for the scale. Okay, we'll do that in a minute. We got another super chat.
I will do this first too.
Oh, in the kitchen with Karen. Love your channel. Thanks. I just hit a 30-pound milestone on compounded tirzepatide. I've been working on it 3 months, just keeping on 5 milligram for now because it's working. Awesome.
Oh, Mel B's answering the question here.
Mel B. I mentioned it was 2% higher only. I don't think there's a material difference. Yeah. Thanks for your super chat, Mel. We appreciate that. And I'm getting you the extra small t-shirt for the cruise, Melby. P.S. Yeah, so if you're going on the cruise with us, you should have gotten an email from me asking for your t-shirt size because we're all going to have matching t-shirts. We're going to be matchy. It's going to be super fun. Anyway, okay. I was talking about something else. What was it?
Hard to say.
Hard to say. Kieran gets fit. Thank you for everything you do, Downsized. Didn't put this in the super chat. LOL, first time doing it. No worries, Karen. We appreciate you. Thank you.
We got a couple of Aussie friends out there.
Aussie Craig. Good day, y'all. Welcome back, LNC. Good day, Aussie Craig. Maybe someday we'll get to go to Australia.
Yeah, we might plan an event for our other business in Australia next year. We have to do a good bit of business with
Come here, Joe.
Woolworths and Coles and Aldi Australia. So there's a good opportunity.
Come up here.
Gonna come up here, Joe?
Jojo has entered the chat.
Alex Limpkin says you can get it free on the NHS here, but it's a long wait, I think, or we can pay $150 to $200 a month to get it privately. Americans are being ripped off. It does seem that way, Alex. And I know there's actually a couple of proposals in the UK to get it even cheaper and make it a little more affordable.
Here,
So
Jojo missed us. This is our cat. Jojo, say hi to the people, Jojo. Jojo says, I don't want to say hi. Okay. Thanks for the invite. I'd love to do Downsized Dish. They've helped me so much. I feel like it'd be best when I've lost more weight. Everybody says that.
Dude, it doesn't matter.
No, you don't have to lose more weight. Gained a bit more confidence. So you know what? You do
Let's do one now, and then we can do one in a year, so we can follow up with you.
I wanted everybody to see Jojo.
Yeah.
Jojo. So I was going to tell him a Jojo story.
Well, that's about the question about.
I bet Jojo was happy her family came back. Yes, she was very happy. Or like some cats, she was mad for a few minutes. She wasn't. I don't think she was ever really mad. We have someone who house sits for us, so she comes in and out and feeds Jojo and takes care of things. Sometimes Jojo sleeps with us, so she came in at about 4 a.m. and decided she was going to snuggle. And I was petting her, and then she decided she would attack. And then she went outside this morning, and we have doors that go out onto our porch that are glass doors. And Christopher goes, Jojo, what's that in your mouth? I want them to see Jojo.
Okay.
And I was like, Jojo, what do you have? She had a little bunny, like a little baby rabbit. And the rabbit's eyes were like, I opened the door. I said, "Jojo, drop that." And she was like, "Huh?" And she, that looks bad.
Yeah.
And she dropped it, and the bunny ran away, and then Jojo ran after the bunny. I think the bunny got away. So Jojo is a ferocious beast.
There's a question for you.
LD, have you ever had vomiting as a side effect? I have not.
You actually did early on. Don't you remember? If you drank wine, what happened?
Did I?
Yeah, the first 3 or 4 months, she just could not drink wine at all. And
I
if she
threw
did
up?
drink wine, about 2 o'clock in the morning, she was throwing up.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
did.
remember the circumstances of
Mhm.
that. I don't doubt it.
You did.
Huh. All right. So apparently I did, but that was a function of alcohol, I think. I hate for people to have this and they keep taking that dose, getting sick. Any insight on what causes it, what to do? Well, in my case, it was a function of what I was eating or drinking. So, some people have said, oh, spicy food makes them nauseous.
Yeah, the doctors we've
Greasy
talked to, because we've
food.
talked with a couple of them about that. You can certainly do
Alcohol.
Zofran for nausea,
Yeah.
but they'll tell you to keep a food diary, not to
Mhm.
track calories necessarily, but to see if there's anything that's causing it so that you can adjust. And unfortunately, with these medications, or fortunately, it changes week to week, month to month. So what caused the problem today might be different tomorrow. So it's just one of those always fun things.
Hi, Mandy. I worry about stuff too much, and that happened then, so I went up a dose. I think it's to do with having disordered eating, maybe, plus overthinking. I mean, disordered eating. I mean, is there any other way of eating before GLP-1s? Not for me. I mean, I was always
Susan
obsessing over something.
Lukasetic. I'm a very slow responder, been on tirzepatide for 15 weeks and have only lost 14 pounds. It's very frustrating. So, Susan, you're not a slow responder. You are
that's
average. You are exactly where you should be. So, as Laraine said earlier, somewhere between 0.5 and 2 pounds on average. So not week to week. So some weeks you could be more, some weeks less, some weeks even. But if you take that total number of pounds you've lost, divide it by the total number of weeks, that average number, you're looking at somewhere between 0.5 and 2. And Laraine and I were both like at 1.5 something.
Well, I have noticed, I don't know how old you are, Susan. I'm 56. Christopher's also 50. We're the same age till August when he turns a year older. But I have noticed in people that are older, their weight loss seems a little slower. I don't know. But keep going. It's working. Just keep going.
I mean, at that rate, she'll be 52 pounds down.
52 pounds in a year. Pound a week's 52 pounds
but
in a year.
Let me do this for you and give you some confetti.
Yay!
Good job. You are doing great.
Shedding. Jojo. What do you say, Jojo? Jojo. She's a ferocious
Hello
beast.
from Puerto Rico.
See, she's going to bite me now. Hi. Oh, see, she's biting me. You going to bite me?
And Mindy's saying, that's not right. All right, Joe. Be nice, Joe.
She's like, she wants to be like right where we are, but now she's licking me. But if you pet her too much, she attacks.
So here's Nature Girl on compounded tirzepatide 9 weeks and 25 pounds. Also, Nature Girl's then lost a bit. But see, the thing about it, so we had two different people right there, right? The things we don't know about these two, we know they're theoretically both women, right? Girl. We don't know what your starting weight was. We don't know what your age was. We don't know if you have any other health conditions. Are you a type 2 diabetic? Do you have PCOS? Are there other?
Are you on semaglutide? Right. Are you on tirzepatide?
We don't know what medication you're on. We don't know if you've had any injuries. There's so many other things that impact your life, your health, your weight loss, that just seeing the number doesn't tell much. So you're both doing great. Let me give Nature Girl a
Ow,
confetti.
Jojo, you can't just randomly bite me. That's not nice. You're going to get
Jojo
kicked.
says pay attention
You're going
to
to get kicked out of the chat. Well, I was petting her and then she bit me. You want head scratchies? Michael Deep says, instead of moving up, I went every 5 days. I think I saw you.
I saw him comment that.
Talking about that. Been on this dose for 6 months. Yeah, so I did talk to a couple of people who split their doses into 2, which works. Jojo, no biting. Which works if you're on a compounded medication, right? Because you can. So I had one lady that would take her like half her dose on Sunday and half her dose on Wednesday. Michael Dietz takes his shot every 5 days. I don't know what dose you're on. I think you're
Yeah,
on.
what dose are you on, Michael? I don't remember.
He says somewhere in there. Try it. Experiment with it. Keep records. Talk to your provider. They probably won't know
Linda's
any more
asking,
than
so
you
Mimi's
do.
out there. Mimi says, can you give an update on your Reddit? So Mimi is in the retatrutide trial. Mimi, we would love to talk. You should come on the show and we can learn more about the retatrutide.
So retatrutide is one of these drugs coming soon.
Yep.
To a drugstore near you. They're in the phase 3 trials now.
Yep.
So we're hoping that they come out in 2026. And is retatrutide the one that just melts the fat off people?
It's the triple
agonist. So tirzepatide is a dual agonist. What does that mean? I don't know. It means it has 2 things in it that help you lose weight: a GIP and a GLP-1. I don't care. It just works. The Ozempic and Mounjaro has just the GLP, not the GIP. So that's why the tirzepatide things, which are Zepbound and Mounjaro, work a little bit better, have been shown clinically to work a little bit better than Ozempic and Wegovy, which are also very effective.
And Novo Nordisk just announced you get your first month for $195. So might be worth trying.
Yeah. Melissa says, yes, I'm dosing tirzepatide every 5 days to break up the 7.5 due to the side effects.
Yeah, do what you got to do.
You do 7.5 every 5 days? Yeah, you want the level of medication to stay constant in your body. Benta says, welcome home. I came in late, so I don't know if you addressed this already. Did you take your shots as soon as you got home or taking them later? Also, did you gain any weight while you're away? So we got home yesterday, Thursday at about 4:00. And I thought about did you think about taking our shot yesterday? I'm like, no, we'll stick to Friday. So we took our shot after lunch today on Friday, like we normally do. So it was 14 days shot to shot because we forgot that one. And then did you gain any weight? I'm up like 4 pounds. Christopher's up like 2 pounds. We'll see,
give it a day or two. I think that's all
in a few days. I think by Sunday, Monday, I'll be back to around 140. Mimi in Australia says, at Linda, almost 15 months in, maintaining since 9 months, having another DEXA scan next week. Someday we'll get a DEXA scan.
We should go ahead and schedule that. That sounds like good content.
Yeah. Now that our busy work time is over.
So let's see here. There's 285 people out there. I don't think we've said it yet, but we are not doctors. So if you have actual medical questions, please
don't ask us.
Your doctor or your medical provider about your weight loss, your medication, your dosing, the whole 9 yards. We can only tell you about our experience, and we don't know.
Do you want to give away the scale?
I do want to give away the scale. So there's 281 people out there right now, 177 likes.
Want a scale?
So we have a scale to give away. Hold on here.
Erica has super chat.
Erica has super chat.
6 extra boxes. How'd you do that? I have 6. I thought she was going to say something else there for a second. I have 6 extra boxes of my 2.5 Zepbound. My insurance covers it. I'm thinking about doing 2 a week or every 5 days. If your insurance covers it, congratulations, you have won the GLP-1 lottery.
Yep, that's for sure.
So if you do
2 a week would
2
just be
doses, that gets you to 5. So people have done 2 of the pens or every 5.
So just see how your weight loss is going, how your side effects are going. Again, we're not doctors, but
pen.
If you do them, make sure you do them in 2 different spots. So don't do them in exactly the same place. One each side of your stomach or 2 different legs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you can definitely do that. If you're losing weight, though, I'd stay on that 2.5 as long as you can. I mean, if everything's working.
You think you have to break up the injection site if you do 2 at once?
They have to be in 2 different places.
Why?
Yes. Because you don't want to do an injection right over the top of an injection. You just don't.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't do it in the same exact spot, but I wouldn't think
I would do one on each side of your stomach if you're doing stomach.
If you do a 5, you do first.
They just tell you not to. If you read the Eli Lilly and the Novo Nordisk bit.
All right.
They just tell you not to.
All right, let's give away a scale.
All right, so let me tell you how giving away something works. Hold on.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
Are you done?
Probably
so
not.
the way you can win the scale is to put #scale in the comments. So we'll give it a few minutes, and then what will happen is I will pop.
That's not it.
Yeah, well, give me just a second here.
That's our before and afters. Oh, and here people are #scale, #scale, #scale. And if you haven't clicked the like button, you should click it now. #scale, scale.
So we'll give it a few minutes, but
scale. That brought me joy. Give it away. Thanks, Jane. Oh, Condi's on here. Condi wants to win the scale. Hey, Condi. So if you haven't signed up for our friend Condi's Condi Carmack's newsletter, you can go to cancerobesityconnection.org, sign up for his newsletter, and it's super good GLP-1 information that he puts out, I think, like
every day.
More than, is it every day?
Maybe, I don't know.
It was a lot. It was a lot of good information. So if you like, the high level doctor type journal.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So how many we got? We got a lot. Why don't you take a few more?
There's 72.
72?
So we'll you guys keep putting in scale, so we'll give you a little bit of time here.
All right. Hit the like button and scale. So we like this scale because it Bluetooths to an app that you can download to your phone, and you can see what your muscle weight is, what your fat percentage is, what your weight is, what your body water percent is, all kinds of things other than just that, number on the scale, right? Because the number on the scale doesn't always tell the whole picture, and really the number on the scale is just a data point. It's just a data point.
And so the Renfo folks sent us this scale to review, and we reviewed the scale. We're not being paid anything for it. We're going to give it away. We already have a scale.
Mm-hmm.
Inevitably, there's someone already commenting on these scales are not accurate. You should go get a DEXA scan.
Well, I'm not going to get a DEXA scan every day.
Right. So these scales are a great directional tool. So, I mean, we've been doing this 85 weeks or something now, and we actually weigh every day. So there is a lot of data. So that sort of trend data is absolutely accurate. I promise you, it's not going to jump one way or the other. The trend isn't. The specific number might be slightly different. Oh, but we have
I do like to weigh myself every day, but only once a day and only in the morning. That is what I do.
Here we go. Here's Erica again.
Hey, Erica, I'm a type 2 diabetic. Thanks for your super chat. I'm a type 2 diabetic. That's why it's covered. Good for you. And for the first 6 months, I was scared to be on it. I've been on 2.5 for 3 months. So that's,
And Erica, you're exactly the reason we say we are not doctors, because there's so many things that you need to take care of with your diabetes that you got to take care of yourself. So please, talk to your doctor about your dosing and all of that stuff. But thank you very, very much for the super chat.
Yes. And we've heard, and I think studies have shown that if you're a type 2 diabetic, you generally lose weight slower than non-type 2 diabetics. So, but this works. These medicines were originally developed for type 2 diabetes, and then they just discovered, the weight loss was happening too. So now they're approved. Now Zepbound is approved for type 2 diabetes. Well, that's Mounjaro. So Mounjaro is for type 2 diabetes. Zepbound is for weight loss. Same medicine, just marketed under 2 different names. And Zepbound has also been FDA approved for sleep apnea.
Yeah, and there's other things going on. And in other countries, it's just Mounjaro. It gets complicated.
Yeah.
All right, there's 104 entries out there right now. So you're getting your last couple of minutes in. While we're doing that, Wayne Whitner just threw a super chat at us. Thank you, Wayne.
Wayne Whitmer posted like a before and after picture. I don't think we've ever done an interview with Wayne.
We have not done
Thank you, Wayne, for your super chat. We need to do
where does Wayne live? Does Wayne live close? He does.
I think, is he the one that lives in like
Rock Hill, maybe? I don't remember.
Somewhere.
I could be wrong.
I don't know. But if you want to be on Downsized Dish, just send me an email to Laraine@thedownsized.org and just say, hey, I want to do a interview. And I'll say, cool, here's the link. And that's
so. See, Carrie already said, how accurate are those scales for things other than weight? Is it helpful to get a general idea? So I'm working with Dr. Spencer Nadolsky. If you guys have done, one of his partners is a doctor who is also a professor at Texas Tech University, and he and his students did a study and actually tested all these scales, all this stuff. So I'm working on getting him to come on and talk about it, about the study that they did. If you Google it, you can go find the study, though. It's out there. I think directionally, they're perfectly fine. So within a few percentage points, one way or the other. It's
kind of cool to see your fat percent go down, your BMI go down. You want to look at your muscle mass, like, am I losing muscle? Maybe I should eat more protein. Maybe I should start doing some resistance training. Just things to look at and help you adjust what you're doing.
All right. So now we have 107 people. We are going to draw. So last minute, here we go.
Ready? Okay.
Say when, Laraine.
I think I just did. Go. Cindy is our winner. Congratulations to Cindy. You have won a Renfro Smart Body Scale. So if you would please send me your mailing information to Laraine@thedownsized.org, and I will get that out to you probably Tuesday, because maybe tomorrow, but probably not. And Monday's a holiday, so it'll probably be Tuesday. So send me your email. Cindy, thank you for watching, and thanks for everyone for playing in our contest today.
Yep. Now, the fun problem with the contest is there's now 200 or 107 comments that say scale in it. So if there was anybody I missed that you really want to ask a question, please go ahead.
Too late.
Drop that in the bottom, because I now have to do this a lot, and I assure you, I'm not intentionally skipping over anybody. Let's see here.
Jojo will help you with the comments.
Diamond in the Rough says, I'm in my research phase. I have a doctor's appointment next month to get started. Have found so much info and good interviews with medical professionals. Thank you for all you do and share. Yay! Absolutely, Diamond in the Rough.
Yeah, so a lot of people are in that like looking around phase, right? Like I want to research it. I want to know more about it. I'm really going to give myself a shot. Like that seems a little intense. I get it. That's how we were at the beginning too. Valerie Scruggs says, I have the Renfro travel scale. It doesn't tell my metabolic age. I hate the metabolic age. The metabolic age is the only part of that scale that is diabolical.
Well, mine is spot on.
Diabolical.
In the last year, I have lost 14 years of metabolic age, and I'm now actually the same as my age.
Well, mine was giving me like a few years.
I don't know. Have no clue how metabolic age is calculated.
It's a scam. That's the only thing I'm like, this is not.
But
we took our travel scale.
We have a Renfro travel scale as well. You might try updating your app, because I thought ours does.
Do it, Valerie. Leave it without the metabolic age, because that is the worst. Really is. Like if I'm 56, I don't want to see the thing say, oh, your metabolic age is 57. Well, get out of here, scale, because all my other levels are in the green. Why you got to come at me with a higher metabolic age? Like why? Somebody explain to me how that's calculated.
Gwen wanted to know, can you enter more than once? You could type the thing in more than, it will only see you once. It only sees you once.
It does it?
It's a magic algorithm in the background. It'll only see you once. It's a special program. And if like I had something else to give away, it would, whoever had just one, it would knock them out, so you couldn't win again.
Cool. Bill White says, finally got my insurance to pay for my tirzepatide. Woo!
You know what?
First dose of 2.5. Yes. Yeah. So our insurance does not cover any weight loss medication. So that's why I started with compounding. Christopher went to Mounjaro and then to Zepbound because he had high blood pressure and high cholesterol, and he really wanted to see our local doctor more regularly. And, doctors really can't get behind the compounding because they don't, they can't
Some of
vet
them are
it,
just,
right? They just can't. And that's fair. Like, I get it. But, we just couldn't afford, not for both of us not to do some compounding in there. So I forgot what the point of that
hard to
conversation was. My scale finally has my metabolic age correct. Was a real victory for me. I know, Linda, like, I don't even look at the metabolic age. Laraine does not approve of the metabolic age of these scales. Everything else I like fine. Jazzy MDG at KM, several people, multiple entries. It knows. It's like a smart program thing.
It only takes the first one.
Yeah. My BMI went from 33.6 to 26.1. Wow,
that's awesome.
That's a big drop. We generally don't support looking at BMI. It's just a weight to height ratio, right? So it's not really going to give you a lot of good information. But on the scale, as it's one piece of information with 12 other pieces of information, and I like to see the data move, right? All right.
Wayne says he lives in Houston. We knew that actually.
You went to Empower and picked up your medicine.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because he just moved and he was worried about his medication following him. It's all coming back to me now. So I've got an order into Empower Pharmacy. They've had it for like 5 days. I'm wondering when they're going to fill it. I don't know. Valerie Scruggs says, I found that the percents on the Renfro were very close to an in-body scan that I did at my provider's office. Yeah, good to know, Valerie. Adriana Schaffner, thank you so much for all the... Sorry, I got lagged.
Thank you very much for all the work you guys do to bring us information. You make learning fun. Well, thank you, Adriana.
Last night I went to bed at 8.
Yeah, here's one from Kieran. Kieran says, how do you deal with the mental aspect of not losing weight for a few weeks? That was when I panicked and went up a dose early. I feel like I need a better way to handle those times, LOL. So, Kieran, I watched one of your show episodes the other day. I don't remember how far you are into at some point, and this is hard, but at some point, probably 3 or 4 months in, I just kind of got to the point where I had lost enough weight that I was just happy to be smaller every day. So if I didn't,
right,
it was okay. It was just like, oh.
Well, in the beginning, I remember we'd wake up every morning, weigh ourselves. I'm like, holy crap, we're down another pound or whatever. And then we're like, is this going to stop? Like, this is too good to be true. Like, this is going to stop. It's all going to come back and this is all going to be over with. And at some point over the course of the year and a half, I don't feel like that anymore. Like, I can be up a few pounds or even, and it, so what? I've got the rest of my life to even it out, right? So I know that this medication works. I know that we'll keep going. Don't panic. There's no reason to panic. And I can tell you that all day long, but you really have to absorb that. You have to, once you are on it, I don't even know how long, 6 months, a year. It's just kind of like you don't even really question it anymore because you know that it works and you're not going to go back to your starting weight, right? It's just...
I just got to a point where I decided every day that I was down was a good day. It just was. It was...
Well, but we don't want the scale to dictate your day or your life or your mood because that's certainly been on that roller coaster for my whole life, right? It's really more like the scale is just giving you a data point that you can log and look at. It's just a point in time. It's not going to stay... If you're in the weight loss mode, it's not going to stay. It eventually will go down.
And I mean, I had months where it was, particularly those last 20 pounds, it took a long time.
Yeah.
A long time.
Well, and sometimes you have to wonder what your body's set.
I never wondered that. Right? I don't even believe in that nonsense.
Your body is gonna fight to keep you alive, and if it thinks you're going too low, it's gonna fight. But if you keep giving it this medicine and you keep telling it you want to lose more weight, over time you will lose more weight. It just is a very slower process.
It's just a slower process, and then for me, it was also a place where, as because we're guys, Karen, right? So weight's certainly the easiest number to look at, but measure your neck, measure your waist.
Measurements are good.
But a man's neck can go. I mean, mine I think at its biggest was 18 and a half inches, and now I'm wearing a 16-inch collared shirt. So, you're losing 2.5 inches around your neck.
His whole head got smaller.
Right. My whole head got smaller.
His hats got too big.
Even when my weight had basically flattened out, sometimes bodies are weird and things. I would wake up the next day and I'd go, something moved because these pants that were tight, and I didn't lose any weight. These pants that were tight and now are too big. They're falling down and I don't.
We'll talk about your ear thing. Let's read this super chat. Thank you, Erica, for your super chat. They cover Wait.
This is part of
They cover Zepbound for obesity, affects diabetes, but deny Mounjaro because my A1C is in normal range.
Yeah,
well, that's silly. Sense. Either way, as long as you one way or the other. But Christopher's ear, your hearing.
So what happens is when you lose enough weight, basically there has been fat in your head and pressing on your ear on the canal there, and it changes the way you hear things. So as I lost weight, I was having an issue, particularly with this right ear. And I think somebody else had said this, like Michael Clanton or Michael Dietz or somebody else had said this. Or maybe it was
Sarah.
I don't remember. So somebody else had told us this. One of the interviews we did. What was the younger guy's name?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. And it was like my ear was opening and closing. So the weight had just changed. Started to even out a little more. It was giving me an issue on the air, on the plane.
Doctor about it.
No, I asked the doctor about it, and he was like, yep, that happens. So just things change. It's just. Mindy says, Kieran, I remind myself that I can control my actions, but not the outcome. Our bodies are not machines. They do what they want. It's easier said than done, but we have to relax and trust the process.
One thing that Mindy posted once that really stuck in my head was I can't control basically what she just said. I can't control what my body does. I can control my calories. I can control my water. I can control my exercise, but I can't control what my body offloads. Is it going to offload fat? Is it going to offload muscle? Is it going to hang on to it? I can't control those things. So, we can just pull the levers that we can pull, but our body's going to do what our body's going to do. And we're just kind of watching what happens, right? It's interesting when you put it in that way. It's not like anything. And let me go back to my overarching theme that obesity is a disease. It is a disease recognized by the American Medical Association, and it's not your fault. And these medicines are tools that we use to treat the disease of obesity. It doesn't cure the disease of obesity, but it treats it, and it can put it into kind of like a remission kind of state, if you will. That's what, was it Dr. Dan called it that?
Yeah.
Mitsu Grace says, I love my scale. It's very consistent and lines up my weekly weigh-ins at the doctor.
That's good.
That's good. Question for Laraine. Did you change anything in your diet to accommodate the lower 5 milligram dose since you were originally on the 7.5? Or is there no difference between the two for your maintenance? Honestly, on the 5, I lost a few pounds on the 5, not even meaning to. I think I don't really.
The problem is she's not actually eating enough calories.
That's what Christopher says. To me, I'm eating like I always.
What'd you have for lunch?
I had some yogurt with some granola in it.
Girl, that was. There was no 30 grams of protein in that lunch. I can tell you that.
Well, the yogurt had 15. The granola had 10. So I had 25, and my goal is 20 to 30. Anyway, sometimes I'm.
Your goal for weight loss is? What is your goal for maintenance?
Well, I'm up 4 pounds from. Anyway, in maintenance, I'm not tracking my calories, but I try to track my grams of protein, and I wasn't necessarily being great about that. I think it just takes my appetite down so low that if there's nothing good to eat in the house, I just won't eat anything, which is not a good thing either, because you have to eat to keep your metabolism going and everything. But the 5 milligram, I think I could probably even go to a 2.5 milligram. Like I don't really know where my cutoff is where I'm not going to lose any weight without thinking about it. That sounds so weird to say. I lost weight without thinking about it. What? Like this is the girl who's been on Weight Watchers since she was 15, y'all. Like I've counted every calorie and every point and every exercise and done everything. So for me to just like not think about food and maintain or drop a pound or two is the most bizarre. I'm in bizarro land.
Gwen says she has a Rencopo scale. It has all the same.
Oh,
there's a bunch of different brands. I think they're all made at in the same factory in China. Honestly.
Yeah,
because they all do very similar.
Get your Chinese imports now before they all go up 300%.
No, that's lowered again. And a bunch of people talking about their metabolic age. I have no idea how metabolic age is calculated.
Right? It's diabolical. I hope it's wrong. I'm 63, just 69. Don't even look. I'm going to tell
mine was
everybody
13
right now.
years higher. So
well, you were 120 pounds overweight. So I would hope that it would be higher, and then now it would be normal. Mine was always like a year or two higher, and then it randomly goes up or down. I have no rhyme or reason. Deborah Mitchell. Mine says I'm 10 years older. Yeah, it's just we don't like it. We're not going to accept that it's real. It's not real. Carrie says my insurance doesn't cover it, and I work for the insurance company. Carrie, you gotta do something. Talk to your people.
What's Carrie gonna do?
I don't know.
You're all good, Carrie.
Courtney says mine says
member?
1 year older. 2, I think because my heart rate is higher for some reason in the morning. This doesn't log my heart rate.
Well, that little current goes through and it'll see that.
Interesting theory. Interesting. Dawn Daly says, I like the metabolic age. Went from 74 to 66. My actual age is 68. Went from 200 pounds to 124.2. Wow, Dawn Daly. That's a lot of weight. Congratulations. And from 74 to 66, yeah. And if it was calling me 2 years younger, I'd be singing its praises. So I don't know. Most people, it just doesn't seem accurate for. But if you like what it says, then go with it. All right.
Kieran says, I do need to relax at times and not get caught up in things. Mindy, thanks for the advice. Let's see.
I think this weight loss, it's such an emotional thing, right? Hilday Spirit Podcast. Metabolic age is off. My travel Renfo scale says 52. I'm 46. Just got the new Morpho scale with handles from Renfro, and it has me at 47. 6 months older, which matches my Oura ring.
So I'll have to reach out to the Renfo guy and see if he'll send us one of those. That would be interesting.
Oura ring?
No, the
one with the handle.
It's instead of just the 4 points on the feet, it's supposed to be more accurate. Is it? I don't know. They're a lot more expensive.
Yeah. Judy says, everyone take a drink of your water whenever Laraine says diabolical.
Oh, Condi says
diabolical.
Metabolic age is a measure of how efficiently your body burns calories compared to others of the same chronological age.
How efficiently your body burns calories.
So, Condi, how does that scale that sends the little electrical signal up through and around?
How does it know how many calories I've
I have no idea.
It gives me a BMR, a basal metabolic rate or resting metabolic rate. And I think mine is higher compared to a lot of people that I've talked to. I don't know why. I think my muscle may be a little bit higher, and that's why it's a little bit higher. But I would think that would put me at a younger age. But it puts me, I don't know, Condi. Thanks for your comment, Condi. It's Darium says, good evening, Durhams. Welcome home. Good evening, Downsized peeps. Hey, Darium. Thanks for being a member. I think Darium's going on the cruise.
Serena Devon says, I thought the government outlawed compound because there is no longer a shortage of GLP-1. So not really, but sort of.
Kind
of. So compounding is legal in 2 instances. And there are 2 different kinds of pharmacies. This is where it always gets complicated. But essentially, when drugs are in shortage, not just GLP-1s, any drug, and if you go look at the drug shortage list on the FDA's list, there's lots and lots of them out there. There might be 100 out there that are on shortages. A 503B compounding pharmacy which is a large-scale commercial compounder that can sell to hospitals and doctors and all sorts of things, has permission, according to FDA regulation, to compound those drugs. Any other time, there's another classification of compounding pharmacies called a 503A pharmacy, which is typically done for personalized medications.
Personalized dosing.
Yeah. And most communities of any size have a compounding pharmacy in them, because that's basically what pharmacists have been for the last 200 years. But they've been legal in the US for a good 100 years. And if you had a child who was allergic to something in a medication, or could not swallow a pill, or wanted it to have a different flavor, or what have you, you could go to that compounding pharmacy and they could take care of you. Ours is in Charlotte, in Huntersville. It's called Neil's Compounding Pharmacy. It's owned by a guy named Neil. Imagine that. So theoretically, the 503A pharmacies will be able to continue creating compounded GLP-1s under the FDA regulations.
Personalized dosing.
Right. So the compounding pharmacies and telehealth companies have said, we'll do different doses, we'll add or subtract, or we'll do something else to it to make it a compounded medication, add niacinamide or whatever to it. The challenge of that entire legal conversation is that all of the regulations were written pre-GLP-1, in which case there was no mass compound. There wasn't hundreds of thousands of people who wanted to buy these drugs.
Nothing has ever been compounded like this.
It's never happened before. And what we know from Novo Nordisk's call last week, so they did their analyst call, was there is as much compounded Ozempic, Wegovy, semaglutide being sold as there is branded. So the size of this market is gigantic. There are currently court cases happening. So Novo Nordisk just filed this one this week against Orderly. Eli Lilly has filed against Mochi and a bunch of other people saying you can't do that. So eventually what's going to happen is lawyers and a judge are going to have to look at those FDA regulations and make some sort of interpretation about them and what scale can happen. Or alternatively, some state or federal regulation is going to have to be written or changed to either completely ban them or to allow it to happen. There's a lot of moving pieces out there.
So some of the compounders and some of the telehealth providers just said, okay, we're out. Peace. We'll see you. Eli Lilly said, we're losing money. And so we're going to sue this compounding pharmacy, and we're going to sue this telehealth provider. And we have $1 bazillion, and we can sue the pants off you guys all the long day, live long day. And some of the telehealth people and some of the compounding pharmacies say, sue away. You can't stop us. We can still sell compounded medication because we're making personalized dosing that is not the same as your branded medication. So, and some of them are still continuing. I have an order in through Mochi with Empower Pharmacy right now that I'm waiting on. I'll probably get next week. So it is still possible. Will it go away in the future? Probably. But you know what? If Eli Lilly wanted to stop all compounding right now today, drop your price to the price of the compounding. Drop your price to $199 a month. Who's going to go to compounded then? And if there's no shortage, then everybody can get it from the CVS all day long, right? Well, that's not really true either, because when you go to the CVS to try to get the Zepbound, they don't have it. They don't have it sitting in their fridge, their little tiny little fridge in store. They say, oh, we got to order it from our, what do you mean you got to order it? There's no shortage. Well, we don't keep it in stock. That shit's expensive and it has to be refrigerated. And our refrigerator's that big. So.
And I was working on the news today. There's the prices are going to come down. I mean, Novo Nordisk just announced they'll do your first month's dose at $195.
Is that a vial or that's a pen?
That's a pen. So it's coming. We'll pay attention to the news on Monday because there's a lot of stuff that we'll talk about. And they just fired their CEO because the CEO couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
They're going to have to.
I mean, I don't know what the story is really with that. Seems like what's his name? Lars
Jorgensen.
Seemed like he brought them a long way with the Ozempic and the
doesn't matter.
Wegovy.
They lost their share. I mean, they had the largest share, and this last time when Eli Lilly reported, they moved above them in share. It's going to be a price war. I'm telling you, it's going to be. And then when we see new things launch next year, it's gonna get brutal, and it's gonna be good for us.
Well, so we just kind of have to hold on. Those of us that don't have insurance coverage, just hold on, stock up, try to make it to 2026 without going off your medicine, and hopefully prices will loosen up and new drugs will come on the market.
Grandma Wishbone.
I'm down 45 pounds, but extremely obsessed that it's up.
Well, Grandma Wishbone, let's focus on the first part of that first. I'm down 45 pounds. Congratulations. Good for you. Confetti.
Go, Grandma.
Our bodies are not constant things, right? So if I were to weigh my phone would weigh something. And every time I weighed it, it would weigh exactly the same thing, right? Our human bodies aren't like that. They're just not. So we drink things, we eat things, we go to the bathroom, we throw up, we sweat, we do all things. There's some stuff constantly coming in and out. So the fact that you're up a pound, 2, 3, it's okay. It's okay. Take your shot. Okay. Take your shot. You'll be okay.
That's the logical mind.
Oh no, I could be freaking out too, for sure.
It'll happen. You're going to go up and down on this journey. You're down 45 pounds. Your weight is not all going to magically come back overnight. The medicine is still working. Keep taking your shot. Keep drinking your water. Up your protein. Maybe go for some walks. Maybe add some extra exercise. Maybe add some extra protein. Maybe track your food a little bit if that works for you. But it's all going to be fine, right? It's all because we are treating this disease of obesity. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. So just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. And now Carrie has become a YouTube member. Thanks, Carrie, for joining Club Downsized. We appreciate you. And we can talk logically about weight loss all the live long day, but it is such an emotional topic. At least for me, I'm sure for a lot of you out there, right? Jennifer Donahue says, Grandma Wishbone, multiple weeks I lost and gained the same 2 to 3 pounds. That would drive me up the wall. And I mean, that happens. You're not going to have a linear weight loss, right? It's going to be more of a roller coaster weight loss, but hopefully that roller coaster goes down over time. It was me with the ear thing. Oh, I thought it was Dennis, but I didn't want to guess. Yeah, because Dennis lost a lot of weight too. Donna Johnson says, I agree with Laraine. Weight loss and set point differ in males versus females, and typically it's much harder for women after menopause. I went through menopause in the middle of this journey, and I also went on a hormone replacement therapy. So, talk to your doctors out there. You don't have to gain weight in menopause. I didn't. I lost weight. So, talk to your doctor. Try to get one who is pro GLP-1 and pro hormone replacement therapy. Tammy Rendon says, hello, Tammy. Yeah, let's not talk about necks. I'm thinking about getting my neck done. Turkey neck, and bat wings got to go. I mean, if you can get those surgeries done, I'd get all the surgeries done if I had, Eli Lilly billions of dollars. Worried that the extra loose skin puts you under your ideal weight if you hit the number on the scale.
So let's talk about ideal weight, though. My favorite statement, we've interviewed a lot of doctors at this point. So we talked to Dr. Dan, and Dr. Dan shifted the conversation to be around best weight.
Best weight.
And what was best weight?
Weight where you feel your best. But I understand what she's talking about with the loose skin.
Yeah, I get it. But then if you go back, and so we interviewed another doctor named Carolyn Franca Villa, who talked not so much about ideal weight or best weight, but around function.
Right.
So what she was doing is reframing your goal, not necessarily as a specific weight, but as your ability to move and be functional. So she talked about how quickly could you get up out of a chair, how your grip strength, carrying your groceries and all those things. So as you get closer to what you believe your ideal weight was, and like I said, my goal weight of what was originally 190 pounds, mostly because I believed it would never happen. I thought it was like winning the lottery. It was like, oh, sure, I'll say that. It'll never happen. It's just kind of silly. You begin to understand it's really about, can I go up and down steps better? How do I feel? Am I breathing? There's all these other things. So removing the skin doesn't change that. It's going to knock a couple pounds off, and you're going to feel a little bit better about yourself physically. Absolutely.
The loose skin doesn't weigh as much as you think it does, unless
Barb's out there.
Unless you've lost over 200 pounds. Okay, so I've lost about 50 pounds, and I have some loose skin on my stomach. I have loose skin under my arms. And does that affect my best weight, my goal weight? I mean, no. If I were to have skin removal surgery, maybe it would take off a pound or two, but really that's not, again, unless you've lost over 200 pounds and you have a lot of loose skin. Roche, I lost so much weight, I had to reset the facial recognition on my phone. Yeah, so when you go, that's, I've known people, I'm almost to that point. And when you go through customs, they look at your passport, and then they take your picture and they match the facial recognition to the passport. And I was kind of worried that mine wasn't going to match, but yours matched, mine matched. Didn't have a problem, but I was a little worried there for a minute. Judy says, I believe in the weight set point. My body quit losing 20 pounds before my goal weight, and it still hasn't budged for the last year, even adding Contrave to lose more. I'm diabetic and a senior, though. Yeah, diabetic.
You got a lot going on.
Senior. I mean, Contrave, mixed reviews, but, but if it's been holding firm for a year, I think you're probably where you're going to be. I mean, I would keep going. I mean, you're not going to throw it out the window. Yeah, you're going to still manage all your things, but that's hard. Adriana says, I went down 2 notches on my Apple Watch band. Yeah, I had to get completely new bands because I had a really cute Kendra Scott one too, but it just got too big, and I had this one from the Amazon that I really like.
That did not come from Amazon.
Where'd you get that one? Is that a Kendra Scott? No, it's not.
Oh no, that's
no. Oh, it was something else though. It was some other.
Kate Spade.
Was it okay?
Yeah, it's Kate Spade.
Anyway, yeah. It's Serum says, we're rooting for you, Kieran. You're doing a great job, and thanks for your videos too. Serena Devon says, my doc says fiber is important as well, and recently saw that in the news. Yeah, you got to keep that stuff moving. So these GLP-1 medications slow down your digestion, and then your food moves through your gut slower. So if you have fiber, can help push it along. Now, too much fiber is good. Eat some vegetables.
Well, that's why we get so focused on protein, and protein is important, don't get me wrong, but that's why I say eat your protein first, then eat vegetables and produce, because you're going to get vitamins and you're going to get fiber, both of which are really good. Actually, in the news this week, there'll also be a story that a couple of researchers have talked about people on GLP-1s not getting enough nutrients.
Yeah.
And the challenge being it's very difficult for some of the nutrients to be absorbed in pill or injectable format the same way as it is in food.
Yeah.
So they were really advocating for really eating fresh produce. There's something about the vitamins with the fiber in broccoli and whatever.
I was listening to a podcast today also that said there's so many other things in real foods, right, that might work together, that if you just pull out the vitamin D or whatever and put it in a pill form, if you were to eat a food with that, you're just missing maybe other pieces that need to go with that vitamin. So eating whole foods is always best. And, we do a lot of stuff in the air fryer. We do roasted carrots in the air fryer. We've roasted broccoli and cauliflower in the air fryer. So, try a new vegetable. And we're getting into spring and summer, so there'll be a lot more fresh produce out there. It's a great time to try something
Vanessa
new.
says, drink your water.
Diabolical. All right. All right, Anthony. Yeah, you usually hear from people that lowering the dose for maintenance, say the food noise comes back. So it got me curious how you can lower the dose and still maintain or even lose. So I do hear a little bit of food noise, and I do get hungry for meals, but I want to be hungry for meals because I want to eat 3 meals a day because food, right? But it's not the same. And I think after losing that good bit of weight, that also affects the food. Like, I think this is just Lorraine's, conspiracy theories about fat cells, but I think a lot of I think the fat contributes to the food noise somehow. And if you
somebody said that, somebody told us that
if you remove the fat, then a lot of that food noise goes away with it. Now, I'm always going to have maybe that drive in me to get in my car and go buy a box of donuts, but the medication kind of lowers it. And I still, like when we were in Amsterdam, oh yeah, you better believe I was eating a stroopwafel and some pastries at breakfast, and it's not cutting me off. It's not stopping me. I can out eat it now on a 5 milligram dose if I want to. But if I want to try to make good choices, it makes it a lot easier to make good choices. Does that make sense?
Let's see here. Wayne Whitmer says, may have missed this, but how was the Anne Frank house? I'm sure it was a solemn experience. So we're going to save that one for the weigh-in because we haven't filmed that yet. But so stay tuned, and we'll talk about Anne Frank and all of that on Sunday.
I didn't post anything about that.
Yeah, it's coming. And actually, Donna Johnson says that. But so
we'll talk about it on the.
We'll absolutely talk about it.
It's important. It's just, I didn't think it was appropriate to be like, we went to the Anne Frank, on social media. Like, here's a picture of me and Anne Frank. Like, it just that. It was more important to that. It deserved more of a talking about, right? Is that how you feel?
Yeah, I think so. Esther says, Wayne Whitmer, I heard the locals say not to go there because it's not it is the actual house.
It's not her house. It's her dad's office.
Right. It's where they stayed for the 2 years they were in hiding. It is a very solemn museum that is very impactful, and I would recommend. I've now been twice. We'll talk about it more on our way in.
You go through the bureau, through the hole in the wall, climb the stairs. It's you're like, oh wow, this really happened, right? I mean, it happened, right? Everybody's read the Diary of Anne Frank, but you're kind of like,
let's see here. Hey, MSV Novo suit against Amble. I didn't hear they went it for early. I misspoke. It was Amble. It was not early.
Oh, see there? They're calling you out, Christopher Durham. MR, unpopular opinion. These companies invested a lot of money to create these medicines. Compound pharmacies, not all of whom are safe or legit, ride in on their coattails and are benefiting from the research.
Well, let's talk about the research for a minute because I think it's interesting. So the medical companies, the drug companies, whether it be Novo Nordisk, Pfizer, Eli Lilly, Amgen, doesn't matter, rely very, very heavily on research dollars that the American taxpayer pays for. So there is research happening in universities all across the country right now. If you go back and look at the 6 scientists who won just recently a huge prize for the work they did in it, that research was all pretty much funded by the United States citizen, so by you and I. My question has always been, how is it that we're funding this research, but we're not getting the benefit of it and it goes straight to patent? So I think there's an opportunity to have a conversation around who owns what and how the American citizen who is paying for much of this can participate in that. So absolutely Lilly, absolutely Novo Nordisk have invested a tremendous amount of money, and they should make a lot of money off of this. There should be some limit to how much that they're charging for that. So there's a lot of opportunities to reform the system from the very earliest research all the way to go-to-market strategies. The compounding pharmacies did not ride in on any coattails. They rode in on legal regulations written by the FDA. So you can like that or dislike it. It doesn't really matter.
Regulated pharmacies. Well, and the point that gets me is how Eli Lilly is making what is it, $40 billion a quarter?
Something like that.
A quarter. Like every 3 months, they're making multiple billions of dollars. Like at what point does it cover their research? Does it cover their, they have so much money, and this medication is literally life-changing and life-saving. It is helping not cure the disease of obesity, but treat the disease of obesity, which so many people have struggled with for their whole lives. And to make this medication $1,000 a month for people without insurance coverage is diabolical. It is. I'm sorry. So if I can get this medication from a compounding pharmacy at a price that I can afford, you better believe I'm going to do it, because otherwise I'm just going to be fat. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep battling the same 20 pounds over and over again, round and round again, like I've been doing since I was, 10 years old. So,
but the reality of compounding is it was never meant to be a permanent solution. So we as a country need to figure out a better long-term solution. And it probably involves some sort of public-private partnership, where when a medication like this has such overwhelming benefits to our country, arguably a national defense policy, honestly, because readiness is certainly, that's how the highway were funded, was through national defense. There's a way to go to market where everybody involved can be profitable. This is America. They should be profitable and be wildly profitable.
Right.
And the American people and the people of the world can still get the medications they need. So it's not a let's stop one or the other, because the reality is Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk can stop compounding right now. I would be more than happy to have Zepbound every week. It would be fine with me.
I'd love to have the auto injector.
And I think what we're seeing from Novo Nordisk is that recognition.
Can't afford it.
It's that if we can get the price down to a point where it's no longer viable for compounding to be at scale, it'll just go away. And I think it will. But no, sells at a good price. We'll move on.
They're ripping us off, and these medications in other countries do not cost $1,000 a month. Why not? Why do the American people have to get price gouged by Eli Lilly?
Anthony says the same thing. We can appreciate their research while also calling them greedy MFers, LOL, and also a lot of GLP-1 research was through government grants, aka our tax dollars. That's
Jojo
correct.
agrees. Jojo says, Eli Lilly, lower your prices right now. I said so.
It's dairy, and for some reason I thought the study stated that women lost more weight with that than men. That is true. The research does say that clearly, and I think it's by like 7%. I'm pulling that out of the air.
Yeah, because usually men lose more weight on things, but women tend to do better on GLP-1s. Probably because we got more natural fat stores. That's my belief. Mimi in Australia says, thanks to those of you who mentioned a travel scale. I had no idea such a thing existed. Just ordered one from Amazon. Yay! We've got an Amazon store on our website, bedownsized.org. You can see all of our products that we like on this journey. Scales and protein shakes and stuff that I like. So, and we're Amazon affiliates, so we make a small commission off each purchase. Patty says, you guys are,
sorry.
Patty says, you guys are so reasonable, and that's what I enjoy. I'm a reasonable person. I just want my medication at a
Some
decent
days.
price.
Some days.
Jess says, for the past few weeks, I've noticed less appetite suppression and I'm eating larger portions at mealtime on some days. Still losing about 1 pound a week. No other changes. Time to titrate up.
Jess, this is where I say we're not doctors.
Still losing about 1 pound a week. You get to eat more food. Your appetite's coming back a little bit. I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah,
I see no problem. Why would you want to titrate up? When your weight loss goes to 0 for multiple weeks in a row,
usually it's 4 to 6.
I ain't staying on.
But no,
I ain't staying at 0, 4 to 6 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks in a row, no weight loss. You're eating pretty much the same things. That's when you might want to move up. Talk to your doctor. We're not doctors. This is not medical advice. But if you're losing about 1 pound a week, which is average,
you're doing good.
It's working. Why? I don't think anything's broke there. Tinkerbell Toes, 2010. Currently on compounded Wegovy, semaglutide, past 12 weeks, painfully slow, 12 pounds down. That's 1 pound a week, Tinkerbell Toes. Congratulations, you're average. 2 meals a day. All right, debating about tirzepatide to possibly be more effective.
You could, but you're on compounded semaglutide, which is cheaper than tirzepatide, and you're losing well within the average expected rate.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not having a lot of side effects, I'd probably stay where you are. That's not painfully slow, believe it or not. You're doing great.
And look, why are you only eating 2 meals a day? Question. Do you like eating 2 meals a day? Why not eat 3 meals a day? Get 20 to 30 grams of protein at each meal. Make sure you're hitting, you're drinking enough water, you're getting enough sleep. You're losing 1 pound a week. So really that's, you're doing it. I think you will, if you switch to tirzepatide, you might lose a little bit faster, but really 1 pound a week is fine. So I'd stay with that another couple months and see how you do. Don Daly says, clarification, I'm 5'3". In the last 20 years was holding at 140 to 160. During COVID, I became a sloth. Me too, Don. Not doing much and eating more, adding up to 200. That wasn't a normal weight for me. New life now. Yeah, I mean, these drugs are doing it, right? We're doing it. COVID was not good for anyone. Jasmine says, Jasmine, that causes hormonal dysregulation. So the connection to food noise definitely makes sense. I mean, I think it's all connected, right? Valerie Scruggs says, dag nabbit, found the metabolic age in my Renfro app. Why did you look at it, Valerie? I told you not to look at it. Yeah, it's diabolical. Drink some water. Right, Jojo? Jojo says, it's diabolical. Grandma, Wishbone, let's be real. I'm sitting here watching and eating a Reese's cup. That's probably my all-time favorite candy are Reese's cups. And I like them also in the shape of
which
an egg.
Which is good for me because if she buys candy for Easter, Christmas, whatever, it's always Reese's. I don't really like Reese's.
I love Reese's cups. And you know what? You want a Reese's cup? Freaking have a Reese's cup. It's got a few grams of protein in there. Can you sit there and eat one after the other? Because if you can, you need to reevaluate that. But and why do you have Reese's cups in the house, Grandma? Is it for the kids? Is it for the grandkids? Because they don't need it. So, some things just don't come into our house because we will eat them until they are gone. Medicine, no medicine. I like candy.
We have a few new members of Club Downsized. Thank you guys very much. Let's actually do that. We have Carrie. We have Diamond in the Rough became a YouTube member. J May became a YouTube member. Thank you guys for joining.
Jojo says, what is that girl doing? I will get her.
Jojo. So we have 292 people out there and 267 likes. Surely we can get to 300.
I think we're about done.
Yeah, we are about done. Gosh, I don't even know what time it is in Amsterdam.
I'm not on Amsterdam time anymore. We're only doing
Sample MM, who's a member, says 60 days on Zepbound and feeling great. I'm down 21 pounds and my goal is in sight. Good for you, Sample MM.
Good job, MM.
Let's see. Esther Lee says, anyone else out there always cold? Yeah, it's just one of the things. I'm cold all the time. I think it's a combination of losing the weight. Turns out you lose 100 pounds. There's a lot less padding. And the way these medications work on that sort of dopamine in your brain, it's just hitting completely different.
What did Tina tell us? It was like the hypothalamus is affected by the medication and it causes you to feel colder. It is a side effect of the medication and a side effect of losing weight. So,
and Kate just gifted 10 downsized memberships.
I don't know how that works, but if you've got a membership,
they just magically go out to people. So you will have gotten one from Kate. Let me do this. I feel like Kate gets the Carlton.
Thanks, Kate. If you just got gifted a membership, make sure you've subscribed and make sure you click like. Thanks, Kate.
Yeah, thanks, Kate. You are awesome. Let's see here. Kat C, who's a member, says, I'm cold more often, but that's fine with me. With summer coming up, I have a hard time regulating my temp once I get overheated.
Yeah, I was really hot on one of the airplanes. I was like, this is weird because I'm usually cold. Airplanes, right? I had a travel blanket. I had layers, so I just, adjust.
Donna Johnson says, how do you receive a gift membership? Whoever when you go to buy them, like buying your membership, it's on that $, you can select to buy $150. You don't have to do that, however. And then the random. YouTube gods randomly push them out. We don't have any
allocation algorithm gives them to who, I don't know, people that are watching. So
looks like Ipsy Dixit got one. Looks like you got some people.
Oh, all right, cool.
Awesome.
All right. So y'all that joined Club Downsized, if you remember, you can go to our community page on YouTube. And I have some secret hidden messages for people who are members. And it will tell you where my secret Facebook page is and the secret password to get in the Club Downsized Facebook page. If you do not answer the questions, you do not get in the Facebook group. I have another Facebook group called the Downsized Adventure with Laraine and Christopher that is open to all peoples, but you have to agree to the rules and answer the questions. If you do not answer the questions, you do not get into my group. So Facebook has been removing some groups.
I think it took Dave Knapp's group out twice, and
it took the Mochi group out.
And then it limited what Dave could do personally. Even he can't post videos. He can't. Anyway, all that to say, if you have not been to our website, thedownsized.org, please go to it and take a second and register for our email list. We've only ever sent out 2 emails in the last year. But we own that email list, so if we need to, we could always host videos and do it on our website. Mm-hmm. It's much better traffic on YouTube, so we don't really want to. And, there's ads and all that fun stuff. But it lets us be able to stay in touch with you. So we would deeply appreciate it if you go to the downsized.org and sign up for our email list. Check out the Amazon store while you're there. There's lots of good stuff we've curated, and we are Amazon affiliates. So we make a very small percentage. Have no fear, Amazon makes most of it.
Yeah, I don't know why Facebook got so grumpy about it. I mean, it could be pressure from some company that's making a lot of money on some things.
There's just a lot of people out there asking questions around dosing and the gray market and just a lot of things that Amazon just periodically tightens up. I'm sorry, not Amazon, Facebook, Meta periodically tightens up, and they're just it's their party, and you're going to play by their rules.
Well, that's how I kind of feel about my Facebook page. Like, you have to play by my rules, and we don't talk about Bruno. No. Steps for Morehouse 71. I started Mounjaro 3 weeks ago. No losses as of yet. New orders to start at 5 milligrams with my 5th dose. I hope that gives my weight load good.
There you go. Just take your shot and you'll be okay.
Some people have to move up through the doses before they see weight loss. So just keep going. Thanks, Durham. Took the words right out of my mouth. The meds take time. Check out our website at thedownsized.org. Laraine is fading, and
So
Thanks
you
for
can
hanging
join
with
us
us
again
tonight.
next week live on Wednesday night at 7 Eastern Standard Time. If you're a Club Downsized member, we'll be doing our regular Club Downsized live on Tuesday night. So watch for that. Usually that's at 6 o'clock. So make sure you join us if you're in the Club Downsized. Obviously, a much smaller group of people. Let's see here. Let's see, is that? Yep. Nope. There's Club Downsized.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of people.
Yeah. I think there's, 150 people or something right now in Club Downsized. So we appreciate you guys' support. Really, that just helps us do the things we do every day because we publish a video every day and more to come. If you have not signed up to do a Downsized dish interview, I actually had a bunch of them recorded. And if you notice while we were traveling, I ran more of them. But it was a great opportunity to get a lot more stories out there. So send Laraine an email at laraine@thedownsized.org and say, hey, I'd like to be on Downsized Dish and tell my story, and we will have you on and do that. And that is us for tonight. So if you will, please like and subscribe. We're almost to 300. Can we get there to 88? Probably not before I pass out. Probably not.
Probably not.
Hit like and subscribe, and we deeply apprate it. All right.
All right.
That
say
is
goodnight,
us
JoJo.
For this evening, I think.
Wait, JoJo,
Hold
say goodnight.
on.
JoJo. Do you hear it? Ah, JoJo! 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 JoJo Cornelius! Do. Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
My name is Christopher Durham.
I'm Laraine Durham.
And we are the Downsized.
JoJo Cornelius Durham.